Another playoff run for the Baltimore Ravens with their eye on the prize and the Lombardi Trophy. Falls short yet again. Red skies in more ways than one as we get ready for the inauguration of 45/47. The Ravens run towards the Super Bowl ends in heartache, disappointment, and a CVS receipt of questions that need answers. This is the Baltimore Ravens postgame show, not a happy recap. Ravens fall to the Bills 27-25. Self-inflicted wounds, turnovers, and miscues and drops doomed them as the Bills advance to face the Chiefs, commanding the Eagles. Final four set. Ravens season comes to an end. They'll be emptying out their lockers in the black hefty trash bags on MLK Day. I'm sure you had a dream about that. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button. Hit that bell. Stay tuned and vote on a poll. Let us know who deserves the blame for the Ravens' loss and season coming to an end. Baltimore Ravens post-game show right here on the Flex Zone podcast, home of all your Baltimore Ravens content, giving you sports how you want it, fellas.
You need it.
Not so happy recap. Ravens fall to the Bills 27-25. Everyone's here with me. I got Dre, I got D, and of course I got Raj with me. Let's start things off with Big Raj. What's going on, Big Raj? Let's social media producer. How you feeling, my guy? Another tough loss for the Ravens in the playoffs.
That's one big son of a bitch! Finger licking good special. That's what I'm talking about.
Big Raj, what's going on, man?
I don't know what to really say, man. I'm highly disgusted with this team. This is what they do. They're a team of losers. They will continue to be. Going to the next.
Let's bring up the next man, the D in DMV, your home for all high school sports. One of the Flex Zone original day oneers. What's going on, D? How you feeling, my guy? Another tough one for the Ravens. Ravens Mania got ended on Sunday night.
Yeah, it was another tough one. Tough defeat. Ravens so close, yet so far away. You know, it comes down, we're talking about it in a moment. They lost the two regular season games. They would have won them with the Raiders and Browns. They would have been hosting this game tonight in Baltimore. And now having to go up to Buffalo and the Bills Mafia and all that. But been a tough couple of days. We lost a pillar in the basketball community with head coach of Mervo, Demetrius Williams, and rest in peace to him and his prayers to his family, the Mervo family. Another tragedy going on up there on Hillen Road. But check the Dodge Sporting Network out on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Threads, Dodge Sporting Network. Bring you more coverage of high school basketball starting on Tuesday, action from the Dream Classic at Bowie State. But we'll get to this Ravens game here in a moment, and it's just same old stuff. We'll get to it.
Joining us, as always special when his brother walks in. It's main event level because he's the main event. The Flex on the side, the Flex Zone co-creator. Mr. Bob Sohagen, Drizzy Dre, what's going on, man?
The Samoan werewolf. I love you so.
Disappointment, man. Disappointment. I thought we had a legit shot at winning this whole thing, and again, we beat ourselves. Damn you, Aaron.
Let's start there with you, Dre. I know it's a little loud in your background, so I'll go to you first, brother. How you feeling after the game? Ravens fall short 27-25. Andrews drops the game-tying 2-point conversion. Offense or the team, 3 turnovers.
Man, it was Lamar and Andrews. Lamar with the interception and then the fumble. Andrews with the fumble and then by the 2-point conversion. I mean, the Ravens honestly beat themselves, but at least with Lamar, I can't say that though he had a turnover, he put the team in position to come back down 8, over 80 play yard drive to at least put them in position to try to tie the game. And then Andrews dropping a crucial 2-point conversion right there. We all thought that he had it, and didn't see that he ended up dropping it. Very disappointed, and I just know the narrative out there. I'm glad Stephen A. put out the tweet saying that this isn't on Lamar Jackson, but you know the rest of the mainstream media is going to blame Lamar Jackson and say that this is fault. Lamar can't get it done to get in the playoffs, and especially now, him being 0-2 against the him being 0-2 against Lamar. I mean, against Josh Allen, not being able to catch Mahomes and having a losing record in the playoffs. It just sucks off with that and for this nation.
Go ahead, D. It's a little loud, Drew. I couldn't catch you. Go ahead, D.
Yeah, you know, it's a disappointing defeat. Andrews really had some bad turnovers. You know, he had the fumble. Of course, he dropped the pass early in the game. Then, of course, dropping the 2-point conversion. Just tough, man. You know, Lamar, he made his mistakes. The bad fumble. I mean, the bad snap that led to the fumble, which he should have just went down on. The interception, which he forced down the field. You can't lose the turnover battle in the playoffs, man. And we've seen in the other games outside of Houston and Kansas City, you lose that turnover battle, you're going to lose the ball game. Ask the Lions about it, ask the Rams about it, and ask the Ravens about it tonight. And just a disappointing end to a pretty good season. Lamar's going to get another MVP. He's going to have his third now in his career. But I hate to say this, folks, but he is Phillip Rivers right now. Josh Allen's Peyton Manning. And unfortunately, Tom Brady is Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes. We want one of them to lose next week, but I'm rooting for the NFC winner. You know, there's going to be some room next week on the Washington Postgame show. So all of us Raven fans, we can be a part of it. Let's cheer for the NFC winner, because that's going to be our only hope. Because hearing this stuff about Josh Allen and hearing this stuff about Patrick Mahomes is going to be tough, man. But the Ravens and all their other losses this year beat themselves. If they would have beat the Raiders and Browns, they would have been having this game here tonight. And it might be a different story because the Bills are undefeated at home. You know, going up there is tough. So it is what it is, man.
Can you hear me, Byron? Can you hear me?
Raj. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to say this. I see people that are down in the chat. I don't want to hear from y'all tonight. I'm sorry. I don't want to hear from y'all tonight. We can do this another night. I'm serious. I do not want to hear from y'all tonight. So please, no disrespect. Love you guys, but this ain't the time or the place. I am really disgusted right now with this team. They are very. I really don't even know what to really say. To be honest with you, I really don't have any words for them because they do this every single year. It seems like they get everybody's hopes up. They play great during the regular season, and then when the postseason shows up, they don't know how to act. They don't know how to play mistake-free football, and it costs us every single time. To the point where it's like we just can't get the job done, man. We can't get the job done. It's just frustrating. Lamar throwing interceptions. Lamar fumbling the football. Mark Andrews can't catch the football. Mark Andrews fumbling the football. Mark Andrews can't catch the 2-point conversion. I mean, it's ridiculous. And then on top of that, we going for 2-point conversions. All you needed to do Let's go for the damn.
Been a roll.
It's frustrating. It really is, and I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. Then we have people, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, Lamar wasn't perfect, and he did bring the team back. Great, but still, it's still done. That's by 2 points. What the Buffalo Bills did not do in this game, they did in Facebook. This team is a bunch of losers, and until they can get over the hump, until they can stop turning the ball over, until they can stop beating them their damn selves, they will continue to be a team of losers. So that's just what it is.
All right, let's bring up Dylan. We got two people backstage. We got Dylan. We got Mikkel. Or Stacy. Mikkel. Let's bring up Dylan. Dylan, what's going on, man? We got you for a few minutes, brother. What's going on, man? What's your thoughts? I know you gotta go on a boast about your boy Josh Allen and your new New York team. What's going on, brother?
Listen, I'm not gonna. I feel Rodgers' pain. I do. I definitely feel Rodgers' pain for sure. I feel that the way with the Giants these past few years as a Giants fan and stuff like that. As a New York fan, I totally understand. And you know, I wouldn't say that the losers. I think that you guys, you know, I get it. You're upset, and I feel the same way. I would say the same exact thing. My thing is, I don't think they're losers for sure. I think the problem, I mean, there's multiple problems with what the Ravens just shown us tonight, and it is comfortability, I think, is the biggest thing that Lamar has gotten into. He felt more comfortable after completing multiple passes in a weren't going to be as effective to him in that passing game that became his Achilles heel in the passing game. Those turnovers could have been at the Bills as seriously as he should have. When they beat the Bills the fourth week this regular season, it is a different team. We heard it from their mistakes. They have shown improvement. They have shown graduation. They have shown absolute elevation, and they are going to get everything completed. And you see that here, and you see that with everything leading into the playoffs that we've had, even into the division finals. This is a different team. The Bills are somebody that are playing rain, sleet, hail, snow, ever throughout all four quarters can get comfortable with, because it is a different type of football game when it comes to that, especially if you've not played it for 14 to 17 weeks in the regular season. Lamar has not played in the snow. Lamar's played in rain. Lamar's played in wind. Lamar's played in heat, but he's not played in snow. And that AstroTurf with that snow, that black ice, that ice that covered that AstroTurf in Bills Stadium was different for Lamar. And that was something that he continuously got very, very comfortable with when completing multiple throws. But when he got comfortable is where he lost his footing. And because of that, we had those turnovers. This isn't a losing team. The Ravens came from an absolute underdog status for many, many years to now possibly being Super Bowl champions and continuously getting closer and closer and closer, just like their fucking running backs, to that end zone than anybody else. So if anything, I understand that you guys feel that pain, and I feel bad, and I'm sorry. I wish I could gloat and say, fuck you, and enjoy that blue cheese and all that other nonsense. But I'm not, because I do feel your pain as a Giants fan. We lost after week 3. We knew we're never going anywhere. We knew we were not doing anything. The Jets weren't doing anything. No New York team, except for the Bills, were doing anything of close to excitement. And for the Bills to be where they're at now currently is very exciting. The biggest challenge now for the Bills is going to be Patrick Mahomes, but how challenging is it going to be for somebody they've already beaten? Is Josh Allen going to get as cocky as someone like Lamar in that type of setting, now knowing they've already beaten Mahomes once, they could do it again? That's something now that we have to worry about for the Bills. But for Lamar, the next time that we see these Ravens, and it is 2025, I definitely see them surpassing where they lost tonight, going to that next chapter. And as time goes on, they will be Super Bowl champions. Whether it's 2026 or 2027, it is going to be the Ravens' year, and we're going to be having a very different conversation. Lamar Jackson is an absolute athlete, a true assassin when it comes to passing yards. 4,000. Do not forget that number. 4,000. He broke a record tonight in just rushing yards alone as a quarterback. Josh has nothing on him on that. He literally broke a record this evening with 2,000 yards rushing as a quarterback alone going into a division final. So that's something you guys should be taking home and saying, you know what? At least we did something and we put up a fight. You guys put up a hell of a fight. You guys put up a goddamn competition. And I salute you for everything that you guys did tonight. You fell short. I'm sorry. You fell short. You could have completed that 2-point conversion. Andrews wasn't on his game. I get that, but I wouldn't put this full blame on Lamar as it seemingly sounds as of right now. I think Lamar is definitely that quarterback you can continuously build your team around. Whatever pick you guys have for this draft come this season, pick somebody to replace somebody like Andrews. Pick somebody that could work alongside Bateman. Pick somebody that could work alongside your tight end, that could be a nice defensive line for your running back. Because if you pick somebody that can be one of those characteristics, I guarantee you, we're going to be seeing you at a Super Bowl victory. 100%.
All right, Mikal, let's get you up here, Mikal. What's going on? Back again. How you doing, Mikal Ramos?
Hey, I didn't think I'd make it 2 days in a row, but hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Obvious question. Crickets on that one. I get it.
For some, New York right now we're winning. New York right now we're winning.
Since Cavati is here.
If the Commanders put me in an oxygen tank yesterday, the Ravens put me on cardiac arrest. I was in here praying, asking for all types of Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what's your name, man?
Mine?
Yes.
Dylan.
Hey, Dylan. I'm Mikal. Nice to meet you.
You
To
too.
pick up on Dylan's point, first thing I'm going to talk about the oldies but goodies.
Yeah.
You come into this game and you're saying, "Oh, Justin Tucker's the best kicker in history," but you're worried about Justin Tucker because you've seen the season that he's had. Mark Andrews is a surefire 90%. It's going to happen. That's in any Achilles heel, he is the healer. And to Dylan's point, this is the year where you start to think, hey, we need to draft another kicker. If our guy that has been the guy for so many years can't produce, we need to find a way to make this happen if he can't do it. Mark Andrews is one of the best tight ends in the league in the history of the Ravens. He's shown and proved. But today you saw that all these but goodies can't always sustain. I agree with the point on Lamar Jackson. You know, this is a quarterback-driven league. That is very unfortunate for the type of animal that Lamar Jackson is. Because whether he puts it on his shoulders and he delivers, he will not deliver. Because let's be real, we can talk about the mistakes in the first half. We can talk about that. But that last drive was the drive of his career. If we're going to be even more potent on the past of what we've seen from the Ravens, this is a drive that does not happen for Lamar Jackson. It ends with a fumble. It ends with him trying to be the hero. It ends with him trying to make something out of nothing, which I saw that short pass. He did not try to make something out of nothing. Nothing happened. He took 5 yards. It makes him trying to outrun everybody. It sees him trying to throw in a situation that is unthrowable. It sees him doing everything impossible of not trying to be poised. You ask your quarterback in any situation, whatever team it is, to not only take account for his mistakes, he dug himself out his own personal hole for his team to put him back into another hole. The first fumble by Andrews is a surefire touchdown on a drive where the Bills could not stop the Ravens. The Bills had no answer for the Ravens in the second half. You start picking up the blitz. You start picking up and seeing what the Bills defense is doing. And then the Ravens settle in. You say, hey, we're going to run off of Justice. We're going to run off of Derrick Henry. We're gonna let Lamar put it in his hands and see what he can do when he can make it happen. They had the Bills in the palm of their hands. Even Tony Romo was saying this game is not over. Yeah, we can say what we can say about the first half, but if you're the Ravens and you're looking at it realistically speaking, this is not over. And it
not even by a long shot.
It wasn't over by a long shot. Lamar took himself out of his own issues. And like I said, that first fumble by Mark Andrews and a surefire touchdown, we don't even talk about what just happened. We don't even discuss it. We don't even discuss it at all. I didn't agree with the 2-point conversion, the first one. Just take the points. Keep the game close. And then Lamar, like I said, has the drive of his career, a drive that would not happen in previous years. You have seen the maturation process of Lamar Jackson in this game alone, because this would have been a game filled with mistakes, and you could honestly say that he does not play well in the playoffs. Someone made a note to me saying earlier that Mark Andrews does not play well in the playoffs. I have not been privy to that. But again, Old Faithful did not supply, and you have to look at Lamar Andrews. You have to look at Mark Andrews, and of course, like we said, mainstream media is going to take this. You know why? Because previous years you say, hey, Lamar doesn't have any targets. You go out and you draft Zay Flowers. You get Rashad Bateman. Then you say the year prior, they have nobody to go on that read option. They go out and they get Derrick Henry. So a lot of people are going to say, what else do they need to do to put around Lamar Jackson for Lamar Jackson to be Lamar Jackson-esque? Which is unfortunate for Lamar Jackson, because most of the heat he gets is because he's him alone. Just say that the rest of the league is below average, because this man had a better percentage. Everything was better than the year he actually won the MVP last year.
Yeah.
I do agree with the ideology of tipping your hats off at the Bills, because James Cook puts Josh Allen in a position where he does not have to put it on his shoulders. And maybe we're looking at the fact that Lamar needs that too, but it's not on Josh anymore. It is not on Josh anymore. And they came out with a game plan and they executed it, but that second half would have been a detriment to them. I'm telling you guys, if Andrews does not fumble that ball, that's a surefire touchdown. We do not have this conversation at all. And I can understand we talk about the mistakes. I understand we talk about the turf and not playing in the snow and the difference of the elements. And you obviously seen a Lamar Jackson having to resurface and refocus. But to say that Lamar Jackson didn't go back out there and put that shit on his own shoulders.
Yep.
This is and let's be even more real. That man still, as soon as he took his pads off, this whole land is coming for his ass. Everybody's riding that dawn as soon as he takes his pads off. And he's still going to get on that podium and be a class act and put it on himself. And that's damn unfortunate. So I can understand the dismay on everybody's faces on here. I get it. Another divisional round, a real tough loss for a team that had this second quarter in the palm of their hands, because we can say week whatever it was that the Ravens bestowed their will. Tony Romo said that 35 million times. Bestowed their will on them last time they played. And the Bills said, we are not going to allow ourselves to be bounced around by them. But they came out in that second half and they did not even continue what they did in the first half. That second half was a tale of something where the Bills should have lost. And I understand In a league, like I said, driven by quarterback play, and it's about the quarterback, and you can't have this guy like Lamar Villis, and he's magical. The rest of the league is mediocre. You're playing against Lamar Jackson now, because let's be real, Josh Allen could have been this. If Josh Allen loses this game, we're talking about how he not only can't get past Lamar Jackson, how he can't get past Patrick Mahomes. This is totally different. This is not the same scenario that you put Lamar Jackson in previous years. The fumble that led to 7. The defense had no turnovers. You're talking about a team that could not defend the run at all. At all in the first half. Second half, you kind of contain it and you put it in the pocket and they figure something out. There was no pick 6. Josh Allen, there was nothing to get. Josh Allen's jersey is clean. We need to look at Josh Allen's jersey when he walked off this field.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I can't agree with the narrative. I won't agree with the narrative. And I understand that I got to go out there and do my job. We got to go out there and do our job as far as analysts. I know ESPN's going to do it. I've been there before. I know CBS Sports is going to do it. Everybody's going to do it. And you're going to look at the guy with the third MVP in his hand, and you're going to say, what the hell is wrong with you when everything is so right with him? I'm sorry.
No. I want to go off of that point. Like it really, this is a testament. I feel like, and to your point is exactly is, if you couldn't beat Josh, which you came a lot closer than a lot of other possible opponents compared to Jay. He is that guy. He is him. And with that being said, the fact that you came 2 points, not 1, not 15, you were down by 11 and you came back and got lost only by 2, there's a huge potential of beating someone like Mahomes in 2025. That regular season for 2025, if you can build an absolute team around someone like Bateman and Lamar and your tight end and your running back, or even just replacing a kicker or giving that kicker a backup, you have the potential of getting past Mahomes and being in that number 1 seed. Mahomes is number 1 seed, and Bills is number 2. And unfortunately, that is what the numbers are. That is what the statistics are. But if Byron's able to pull back up the statistics from this game, I saw something that I thought was very, very interesting, which was the fact that Lamar took 26 passes out of the 25 that Allen took in just yards passing, shows that Lamar has more comfortability and confidence in his passing game, and he knows this, than Josh Allen. Josh Allen, as we saw in quarter one, tried running the ball himself because he knew that pocket was getting tight and that defense was gutting for him.
And did not do it in the second half at all.
That tape that they watched, that Baltimore Ravens tape that they watched of Josh Allen, they knew that sick son of a bitch is going to try running the ball as much as he can to get into that end zone. So if we can stop Godzilla before he gets past that defensive line, we have a chance of winning. And they showed that, unfortunately, when they started to get comfortable. And again, that is the key word of this game, is comfortability. The Ravens are not allowed to someone like the Bills, a number 2 seed, get comfortable in any type of predicament when it comes to this type of game, whether it's preseason, regular season, or hell, the division finals. You cannot get comfortable in throwing, in rushing, in defense or offense. The moment you get comfortable, the Bills take full advantage. Any opponent takes full advantage. If they were playing Eli Manning 2012, 2008, Eli Manning, you were fucked. There was no chance for you. Because if those Ravens got comfortable, you were done.
Let's get Dre in here. Dylan. I know y'all been going back for Dre. How you feeling, man? Let's talk about the narrative there, the offense. What do you think about the offense today? I mean, you kind of see the numbers here. They were moving the ball at will, but turnovers did them in.
I'm not mad at it, honestly. Are you guys able to hear me? Yeah. Okay. There we go. You still muted? Is it
Go ahead
still
now.
muted?
Go ahead now.
Okay. All right. I actually liked what I saw out of the offense. I thought that they were running the football pretty good. I thought that the passing game started to come along. And like Dylan said, in the second half, they really started figuring some things out. I think that they were just slowed down, especially in the first half, by the turnovers. The turnovers is really what is the difference in this football game. Because the Ravens could have really ran away with this football game. I think that they were doing a really good job um, moving the football. It's just that their momentum kept getting stopped because of the turnovers. Lamar, I don't know why he didn't go down instead, and when he fumbled the football. A couple of drops by, there was a drop by Andrews, there was a drop by King Henry. So it was some things that stopped momentum, a couple of the miscues, and then Lamar had an overthrow against Bateman as well. So it was just a matter of settling down, and then once they got settled, the offense started clicking, and I thought the defense did a really good job holding up what they did. It's just because of turnovers we lost this football game, I feel like. And maybe it doesn't come down to Andrews with the 2-point conversion.
Go ahead, Rod.
What was your question again?
Thoughts on the offense of Lamar Jackson?
Their offense was shit. Play like shit to the start, and they play like shit the rest of the game. They didn't play Ravens football. We've seen this bullshit 5 times in a row during the regular season. They came out in the playoffs,
I'm
play
so
like some
sorry.
bullshit in the playoffs in this game. That's what I saw. And they tried to come back in the second half. They're trying to clean it up. They started to run the football with Derrick Henry. They got him going. Then they went away from him again. Mark Andrews' hands was not working today. I mean, what else? What do you want me to say, man? I get it. I understand. You know what I mean. I get it. I understand. This is not on Lamar, all on Lamar, and it's not. But the common denominator is this: every time we make the playoffs, we play like shit in a game, and we can't overcome our own goddamn selves. So that's what I saw on offense. They played a little bit well, but all in all, they played like some bullshit.
There's always next year. There's always next year.
There ain't gonna be a next year.
There's always a next year.
Go ahead,
Don't
D.
worry, that
Go ahead,
might
D.
be
Go ahead, D.
But hey, brother Jaden Daniels is coming, and he's here. And ain't gonna be no next
Go
year.
ahead, D.
Hi,
Go ahead, D.
D.
Hey, Ramos, what's up? Good to see you at the big boy table now. Washington's doing well. It's a good thing. We're rooting for them to beat the Eagles next week. It's going to be a war up in Lincoln Financial. But the Ravens offense, they get a C. They have movement at times. They had good running. But one thing you got to know, the Bills is going to come out and try to stop the run. They got embarrassed the first meeting in week 4. Knew they was going to try to stop the run. And they neutralized Derrick Henry. I'm going to say they stopped it, but they neutralized him. And Lamar can't get antsy. Made a couple mistakes in the first half. Andrews made mistakes throughout the game. Without having Flowers tonight was a big deal. Definitely hurt the Ravens offense, especially loudly down the football field. But I think let me explain to some folks why the Ravens fans are upset. Because it's the same thing it's been the last 3 to 4 years. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda, and it's close defeats. It's one thing if you get dominating the football game and get blown out. If you're in the game, you're right there, and it's mistakes you make that keep beating you, it can turn to be a problem. Now, I've been on John Harbaugh's back most of the year. Outside of them going for 2, and Michael, I agree with you. They should not have went for 2 that early in the game. They didn't need to do it. I thought coaching was decent tonight, man. It wasn't, of course they didn't win, but it wasn't they didn't put the team in a position to lose. You know, I think the offense, like I said, the folks we mentioned did that. I thought the defense played well enough to win. I know we're going to that in a moment, but just got to understand, man, when you're playing the best, and in the divisional round especially, you're going to be playing the best people, the final 8 teams in the NFL. They're the best teams that's left in the league. Margin of error is slim, and you can ask the Rams, you can ask the Lions, you can ask the Ravens. They lost the turnover battle. They lost the football game. You can't do that, man. For the Ravens, they got to really sit down and figure out. We've been getting close the last several seasons with Lamar being healthy. What do we need to do to get over the hump and win? That's what they got to ask themselves. What they need to do to get over the hump.
Go ahead, Mikal, real quick. Thoughts on the offense.
I know I saw something, a little bit of rumblings about, we've had Mike Tomlin on the chopping block for how many years now? So now when you're looking at the Ravens, when are you going to start looking at John Harbaugh? I agree a lot with what D said. This game was not unwinnable. We talk about coaching and we talk about mistakes on coaching when the game just gets totally out of hand. This game was not out of hand. This game actually restructured itself for the Ravens. Like I said, that second half was all about the Ravens. It was about Lamar fixing his own self and calming down, and it was about restructuring and retooling what they saw against the Bills in the first half that they did not expect to see in the Bills from the first half. And they controlled everything in that second half. Again, if Andrews does not fumble, that first fumble, we're not even close to having to have this conversation that we're having right now. I understand it's a constant foot in the mouth to have this Megatron of a team where you have this amazing quarterback, like I said, that's trampling over everybody else in the league and whose numbers precede his own numbers every year. Like he gets better and better and better. And then you look at everybody else around him and they get better, but there's a position that stalls, And I understand, trust me, you ain't got to tell me about having a misunderstanding. The Commanders, the Washington football team, the Redskins, it was like losing a family member for decades. And now we got a resurge. And you have to really take a look at this team and be like, hey, where do we go with this offense that's already potent to where these sticks don't end up coming in and blocking us? I agree. Zay Flowers, who's even more reliable. We talk about him catching the ball, but we don't also give Zay Flowers a lot of credit for how much yardage he gets after the catch. And that was lost in this offense today. I thought Justice Hills was a spark. I would have liked to seen him being gone to a little bit more as you relied on Henry. And at some point looking at Mark Andrews and saying, yeah, we believe, but I don't know if we can believe in this final second, And like I said, I understand Rodgers' frustration. I understand you wanting to walk on the plank, and I understand that, but this is not the time where you do that because your truest of fandoms, and Dylan said it best, this ride for this team is just an etch on the etching scale of the roller coaster. So now you're at the top of this roller coaster, and you just need the next place. You need the next point. I do believe this team behind Lamar Jackson will be a Super Bowl team. They're a Super Bowl caliber team in general, and it's just so unfortunate because when you look up and down the timeline, it's the Ravens did it to themselves. The Ravens did it to themselves. The Bills, even if you tipping your hat off to them, you ain't really tipping your hat off to them. Because the Ravens, it was by a fucking toe again. The Ravens did it again.
The Ravens do this every single year except one in 2012 when they miraculously won that. They're going to continue to keep doing this, Michael. This is what they do. This is what they're known for. They're the almost team. They're not the team that goes out there and gets the goddamn job done. They just go out there and play their worst game at the worst fucking time, and
But
they
that wasn't
lose.
a worst. But that was
This is
not a
what they
worst
do.
game. But
I'm
that was
used
not a
to it
worst
now.
game. But that was
No,
not a worst
I'm not
game.
saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they play their worst football. They don't play their best. They don't play their best. We had every opportunity to beat the Bills, but the Bills did one thing. One thing. They didn't turn the ball over. That's the key. Don't turn the goddamn ball over. And that's what the Ravens did potently, and they do it every single year.
Could you play devil's advocate with what you just said though? The Bills didn't turn the ball over. This is a turnover battle. But even with those turnovers, the Ravens were still put in a position to win this game. You got to flip the narrative.
Yes, they were in position to win the game, but they didn't. But they shouldn't even.
But that
But my
narrative
thing
is
is,
not
they
going
shouldn't
to
even
work.
been in that position. They should have been in that position. If your quarterback ain't being goofy, throwing interceptions and fumbling the football to start the game, you're in field goal range. Hold on to the ball.
I think he was trying to throw it out of bounds and it got away from him.
You're
And
doing
unfortunately,
too much.
that was
You're
just
doing too
unfortunate.
much. You don't need that. You don't need that. You gotta be smart. You gotta be smarter in those key situations. I swear, when Harbaugh said coming out the tunnel, "Oh, I did not speak to Lamar," he knows what to do.
And he did. And he did. The
But
same narrative you spit is the same narrative you could turn around and say, because let's be real, you would be talking about these turnovers if the game was on another foot and that was a W. You would say, damn, we all those turnovers, but we did it. That's the same narrative.
it's a
That
faulty.
is the same
It's a losing
conversation.
narrative.
And
It's
you would not be
It's a
even
losing
in
narrative.
saying what you're saying.
It's a losing narrative.
Okay.
It's a losing one.
All right.
And
All right, let's get to
as a
the
Ravens
defense,
fan,
Raj. What do you think about the defense?
the defense played well. The defense
I'm
played
finishing.
well. They was put in tight situations, but they held up. They held up. They didn't give it up too much. Brandon Stevens wasn't too bad today. He actually played pretty well. Tre'Davious White played pretty well as well. They did their job. They kept them in the game. Gave them a chance to win. And their efforts, again, like last year, was wasted. So they played well. They get a B. At least they get a B from me. They played pretty well.
I do not concur. They could not
Go
stop
ahead,
the
D.
run. Cook.
Go ahead, D.
Yeah, I don't agree watching the B. I would give them a C minus, C plus. I'd say C plus. They get a C plus. They did enough to win the game, but they did have trouble stopping Cook, Johnson, and company in the run game. And that was a big key. When they needed to get off the field, it was at times they couldn't. It was at times they did get off the field as well. But, the defense did enough to win, but could they have played a little better? I would say yes. They could have played a little better. But they got it in key situations. This season, they was tough early. They was not good to watch in the secondary. The secondary got better in the second half of the year. Brandon Stevens held up enough. He still had plays too. He held up enough. But I give the defense a C plus.
Real quick, Dylan, what do you think about the defense? Hey, just quick thoughts on the offense, real quick.
Offense for Baltimore, I thought was fantastic. I do. I get it. I get you guys are upset about it and everything. I thought that they still held their own as much as they could, keeping it a very low loss lead to the Bills, even though they lost. The Lamar did throw very well. Andrew sucks. I'm sorry. If you guys wanna pin it on somebody, get that fucking Mark Andrews the fuck out of there. Bring him to a losing team like the Giants, the Jets. Hell, bring him over to fucking the Vikings if you really want to. Maybe then he'll learn how to play football a little bit better. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, like if you're gonna pin it on somebody, pin it on him. Lamar did good, in my opinion. I was scared for sure when he started running it. I was scared when we, at one point, were just staring at him while he was just standing there, waiting to either throw or run the ball in the third quarter. And the guy was like, oh, I guess I'll play football again. And then finally grabbed him by his jersey and then pushed him out. Like, that type of shit could have costed us as well as the Bills. So in all honesty, it is something to definitely look at and study and definitely learn from both sides of the mistakes going into the Kansas City game next Sunday. But offensive wise for the Bills, again, solid. We were ready. We were a little bit more prepared. The snow and everything was cool. It definitely played to our advantage. We've been, like I told Byron before, when, Josh Allen was conceived, he was conceived in the snow. His mom gave birth literally in a snowbank. And that's how Josh Allen was conceived. It was truly just, this is what the Bills are known for, playing in the most dirtiest of weather all year long, no matter what it is, rain, sleet, hail, or a tornado, we'll play it. The defense for the Bills was solid in the first half, but in the second half, we were starting to lose it. We were letting Henry get a lot more yards than expected. 67 yards rushing. That's a lot. That's a lot of fucking yards for somebody in the division finals. That is a lot of yards for Henry to get into our end zone. So that you have to commend. You have to commend Lamar for his passing game. You have to commend that offensive line for somewhat of keeping that quarterback safe. Couple of sacks, absolutely. 3 turnovers, not the best. Maybe he thought Rapp was a part of the Ravens at one point. I thought he was too. I was like, oh, shit, they gave it to the Ravens. Oh, no, wait, that's the Bills. So I was happy about that. All in all, I definitely think we're going to be seeing, like here these thoughts are saying, I definitely think that you guys have a ring in your near future, whether that is late 2025, 2026, or 2027. I don't think you guys need to count these guys out completely. And I get what Roger's saying. There was 1 year, 2012, that you had the opportunity to be champions. You guys had the opportunity, but like Plaxico Burress, you shot yourself in the foot, and you didn't get there. Now you're just repeating the same exact scenario over and over and over again, and that's where you're at. I don't think it's your offense. I don't think it's your defense. Your defense held us. Your defense held us. You have to remember that. And if you rewatch this game, you will see that. Your defense held us to a very, very mindful thinking game. And like Byron and I were saying in the pre-show, this is all about the mind. This isn't a game where we're going to have a shootout. This isn't a game where people are going to just throw the ball long and just have Hail Mary passes and rushing yards and stuff like that. They stopped Allen for a long time. They stopped Henry for a long time. They did have the capability and wherewithal to know, listen, we're not going to let you guys get a win over us like you tried to do in week 4, but we stopped you. Unfortunately, the Bills are different. They played different teams. They played in different atmospheres. They played in different weather scenarios. That all does equate to what we saw tonight against the Ravens. The Ravens weren't ready, unfortunately, for this new Bills. I don't know who these fucking Bills are, but they're animals. They're goddamn animals. And I can't wait till they come to San Francisco and run through Patrick Mahomes and break Taylor Swift's heart and break Kelsey's fucking back, and we fucking go all the way to the Super Bowl. That's what I want. I want Taylor Swift to make 3 albums, say, oh my Bills. All 3 albums are just about the Bills. That's all I want. That's all I need in my life to fucking be happy for the rest of 2025. If that can happen, I'll be happy.
Well, now they got Caitlin Clark too. Dre, what are your thoughts on the defense, real quick?
Caitlin Clark, you know what I mean? Fuck Caitlin Clark. She ain't nothing.
Oh.
Dre, you muted, brother. You muted. Hold on, I'm trying to get Dre there. There you go.
The defense, I thought that, like Dylan said, the defense did pretty good. I mean, in spite of the turnovers, they were still able to hold up, and carry their part. And you got to remember, the Bills were able to capitalize some of their points off of the turnovers that we had, and it could have been even worse also because the one fumble that Lamar had, if it wasn't for Justice Hill, that would have been another touchdown right there. So in spite of the turnovers, they still, I think both sides still was able to hold up. I mean, Lamar to put himself in position so that way they could tie the game, and then for the defense to be able to still make a couple of key stops, so that way they because they were down 11 at the half, and to put them back in position. Hats off to, I mean, the team was still trying to fight. You know, I get what Roger said. He's disappointed in the coaching, disappointed in what this team has done. But
Keep the
overall,
stats up, by the way, Byron.
the Ravens are close, and they're real close. I never lost faith that they could lose this football game. It was just a disappointing way to start the season in the loss against the Chiefs, and a disappointing way to lose again to the Bills, being that you were so close in both games. And let me throw this stat out there too. Do you realize that the Chiefs? I know we're talking about the Ravens, but now we're on to the juggernaut of the Chiefs. They're on that some type of like Roman Reigns type of stuff. They have not lost a playoff game in 1,088 days. That is a
They will
remarkable
on
stat.
Sunday. They will on Sunday when they get the whiff of that blue cheese. I'm going to tell you that right now. The moment they get a
I'll
little
be
bit of
honest.
hot sauce and blue cheese, they're going to fucking turn over in their fucking graves. That's it for them. Patrick Mahomes is going to go on a
I
fat
got
boy diet.
I got to see somebody now. Because I felt like Lamar was the one to beat was going to be the one to beat him. I don't know if Josh can. I know it's a different team, but I got to see it. I know he did in the regular season. I got to see it in the postseason if Josh can do
And
I
I just want to say this really, really quick. And as we're looking at these stats right here, and I'm sorry for whoever I just cut off. You can go right ahead after I'm done with this real quick sentence. Lamar Jackson, 18 passes out of 24 attempts, 200,
mm,
254 yards completed. Okay? Just mind yourself of that number. 254 yards completed, 2 touchdowns, one INT, 1 interception against Josh Allen, 16 to 22 with only 127 yards completed. The 254 yards completed shows Lamar felt more comfortable at Bills Stadium so quickly that he was willing to throw the ball more than anything else, than run it or try to rush it through the defensive line of the Bills alone. And that, like I've been saying, and I'm keep holding it in, it is the comfortability factor that cost Lamar this championship opportunity this evening. It is comfortability. He felt too comfortable throwing it way too much. If he threw less, ran it more, and played more with his mind, he would have had a better opportunity of taking down the Bills tonight. And honestly, like I told Byron before, if the Bills won, fantastic. New York, we're up on top. If the Ravens won, cool, because at least we have somebody to compete with Mahomes and take him out of that three-peat streak that he's possibly going to get come this Sunday.
D, I'm gonna go to you. D, can I get your thoughts on the AFC Championship and your thoughts on the NFC Championship game yesterday, the Commanders and the game with the Chiefs?
We talk about the NFC one first. Third matchup between Washington and Philadelphia, and quite frankly, in the 2 regular season meetings, Washington outplayed Philadelphia in both games. They lost the first game, and that was the first game in Philadelphia where they kind of didn't really play like themselves in the second half. The Eagles came back, was able to beat them. And then the second matchup, Washington really was on. They put a lot of pressure on Philadelphia. They knocked Hurts out of the game. They injured Pickard and was able to win and pretty much propel themselves to the postseason. That's where they've been. The Eagles, our team, that's hard to guard just because They have so many weapons on offense, but Daniels has shown that he has been able to not make that big mistake. He's won a lot of close games briefly in his career. Should be a good one up there. I'm going to take the Eagles just by default, but would a shot be Washington win? No. It's the third time playing an opponent. It will be tough up there, but it's going to be a good matchup between those two teams. Kansas City and Buffalo, Mike Quick. Regular season matchup and regular season, to Dylan's point, Buffalo has dominated the Chiefs, beaten them 3 times. When it's come down, crunch time, playoff time, Patrick Mahomes has been able to beat Josh Allen every time in the postseason. Until the Bills do it, I just don't see how Kansas City, you got to go in there and beat them. They're not going to beat themselves. The Chiefs have shown the last several seasons. I just don't know Buffalo has enough to go in that building, go to Arrowhead, and stop the Tribal Chief at Kansas City. It's just going to be tough.
Tribal Queef will be stopped next Sunday.
I hope you're right, man. It's going to be Kansas City and Philadelphia to me in the Super Bowl.
Rachel Reigns will have to retire that name of Tribal Chief.
Jacob
Monday
Fatu,
morning.
the Samoan
Y'all
werewolf.
got
I love you, Solo. Acknowledge me.
That's the
So
Josh
D, you
Allen
going with a rematch of 2 years ago? D of Eagles
yeah.
and Chiefs.
Yes, I think we're going to see that.
All right, I'm starting to feel that way too. D, Raj, how you feeling up there, man? I know you still pissed off.
I think Jaden Daniels can get it done. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think he can get it done. I think the Commanders might be going to the Super Bowl. I don't have any faith in the Eagles. The Eagles are wishy-washy. Jalen, not Jalen. Yeah, well, quarterback from the Eagles. He's okay, but I don't know, man. It's just something about Jaden Daniels that I like. I feel that he can get the job done. So I'm going to roll with the Commanders. As far as the Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills, I'm not picking the Buffalo Bills. I'm picking Kansas City. We already know when you're in Arrowhead and you have the referees on your side, you're going to win the game. And they're going to find a way to get to the Super Bowl. It's too juicy of a narrative not to have the Kansas City Chiefs back in the Super Bowl to get that 3-peat, because that's what the league wants. So they're going to get what they want. And I think Josh Allen going to play well. I think he'll do well. I just think that they're going to find a way to get Kansas City back in the Super Bowl. That's just my opinion. And then we'll have a young Jaden Daniels versus Patrick Mahomes. So we have a great narrative for that. You know, the young up-and-comer getting to his first Super Bowl as a rookie, you know, chasing history. And then you have Patrick Mahomes getting his 4th Super Bowl, 3 straight. It's a juicy narrative that the league can't pass up. So that's what I think is going to happen.
Can I say something real quick? If the Bills beat Mahomes and spank Kelsey and make Taylor Swift cry, and it is the Eagles v. Bills, can I buy your ticket to the Super Bowl, Roger? And you have to wear Buffalo.
You wouldn't catch me nowhere near New Orleans.
I
would not do that to myself. I would rather walk down North Avenue than go to the goddamn New Orleans Super Bowl. I ain't doing that shit. Hell no.
Finish him, Daddy.
That's fair.
Dre, who you got in the Super Bowl, man? We'll talk more about it tomorrow, but who you got in the Super Bowl?
First of all, there's nothing wrong walking down North Avenue. I grew up around. I can walk to North Avenue. I still will be walking the streets of North Avenue. You know what? I feel like it's going to be a rematch of Eagles Chiefs. I feel like Baden is the first quarterback where he just is that Joe. I mean, no clever reference, no cool where it's nothing that hard. But I just feel like the Eagles. They just seem to find a way to win. I don't understand this team. Like, you don't trust the coaching, but everything else they're doing is just right. It seems like the Chiefs, they just seem to know how to win. And so it just seems like these are the two teams. We would have said the Lions if they didn't have the injuries. But I think we would have said the Ravens, but they just seem to come up just like a hair. The coach said, forward beginning and end of the season. So it seems like the Eagles Chiefs
Go ahead, Mikhail. Who you see in the Super Bowl?
Before I get to that, I want to go back to that Ravens game, and also, and I'm not making any excuses, but I want to talk about that. But I want to put a light on that pass interference call that was not pass interference, which led to 7 as well, because that was egregious. I mean, the guy gets pushed down, nothing was there. They're both going for the ball. That was a turning point in the first half as well. We can talk about the turnovers, but that call was just unimaginable. Should not have been called.
Agreed. Should have been a no call.
Should have been a no call. As far as the Super Bowl, I mean, I guess the righteous answer for me to say is the Commanders. I am very afraid. You would think that I would be very afraid of our inability to stop the run. Hell, Saquon could have went for week whatever that was. Saquon could have went for the record that first half. At the same time, you saw a team make an adjustment in the second half. Then you look at Jahmyr Gibbs in the game that he had yesterday, and you're thinking as soon as he touched the ball, it really was Sonic. His ass was gone. For a team that sucks at controlling the run defensively, they do a damn sure good job of stopping it when it's supposed to matter. Because it didn't matter how much the running backs that are good eventually did. The Commanders were just too much anyway. They put their foot on the gas and just kept it pushing. And when it comes to the Eagles, we have to prove that we can beat Jalen Hurts. Because a lot of people say, oh, well, Jalen Hurts is in that game. You got a read option quarterback. You got him and Saquon. Jalen Hurts wasn't in the last game. He had that concussion. At the same time, that defense for the Eagles in the last 2 minutes is atrocious. It played all right. It was not its total best. But that last 2-minute drill for the Philadelphia Eagles is atrocious. And if we're putting it in the terms of situational football, and where the Commanders have totally taken control of out of this year, is something that they did to say, hey, if the game's on the line and we got 3 minutes left, this is how we're going to do it. We saw it a couple weeks ago, and yeah, we can talk about Jalen Hurts all we want, but the defense lost that game for the Eagles because Jaden Daniels just went down the field. The Commanders did what they had to do in a 2-minute drill, and when you do it in a 2-minute drill and no huddle, and you play fast on the Eagles, it's dangerous for that defense to be able to sustain. So I'm going to take my team, with that being said, and hold on to those 2 points and hope that they matter. Not only that, you're looking at Dan Quinn, a defensive-minded coach that has what he's done. You thinking Todd Bowles is going to blitz all his ass off. And Todd Bowles banked more on his defense, of course, than he did on his offense. You got a defensive coach in Dan Quinn banking more on his offense than his defense. And saying, my offense can be totally better than what my defense is, even though my defense is fine. What we got to do is continue to gamble and take the ball away from everybody else and control the time of possession. I think when it comes to Chiefs and Bills, you can't walk into Arrowhead where you have a Chiefs team that, let's be real, this isn't nothing pretty. This season has not been pretty for them. But they've done it when it counts, and when you put them in a position where these one-score games and you think that you're going to hold on and beat the Chiefs, you got to plow. You got to push it ahead. You got to put them in a position where it does not matter whatever they do. Like the Lions. The Lions kicked a field goal on 4th down, and we've never seen that. But they were in a position where they needed, 2-3 touchdowns to win that game. That's the same position you got to put the Chiefs in. And the harder aspect is going to be that you have to do it at home. Can Josh Allen be the guy but not be the guy? Because he has not had to bend it all this year. You had to rely on him. But he has a running back now. Can he be that guy? I'm calling Bills Commanders. And if we look back to 1991, if we look back at the history of the Commanders, there may be some history to be made here.
man, final thoughts on where the Ravens go from here and thoughts moving postseason.
What would you say, Byron?
Then go ahead. What's your thoughts and where do the Ravens go from here and final thoughts on the playoffs moving forward?
D went to the bathroom.
Oh, in the bathroom. Go ahead, Raj. I'll start with you.
Okay, well, all right. Final thoughts. It's gonna be a long off season. We have a lot of free agents coming up. Hopefully, they keep Ronnie Stanley. Hopefully, they keep Patrick Ricard, Project Pat. Everybody else can go. That's on that list. Oh, I'm sorry. Darius Washington. Keep him too. But everybody else can go. That's on the list. I don't give a damn if they keep Stevens. I don't care about Josh Jones, Nelson Aguilar. All of them can go. All of them. So if keep those three guys. They have 1,000 draft picks coming up, so they're going to draft 11 players. So draft all 11 players, build them up, go out there and try to get another wide receiver. Hopefully, a guy that can actually catch the football. And we try again next year, man. I mean, that's all I can really tell you. It's gonna be painful again. Another ESPN, Fox, saying Lamar Jackson can't do shit, can't do this, can't do that. It is what it is, man. This is what we do every year. So, looking forward to the draft and your draft profiles, Byron and Devontae.
I'm not, but go ahead, D.
Yeah, the Ravens really got to sit and assess what they need to do to get over the hump. It's close. NC Championship game, divisional rounds, just having them get over that hump. You're going to have to use the draft to boost up the offensive line and probably the safety spot. Receiver-wise, you might want to go out and get one good veteran. You got Flowers, you got Bateman. Put some people to the fire, like I said, with Tucker, getting some competition in the preseason. Get Andrews maybe some competition with Likely, Koloff on the tight end side, and just go from there, man. But you got to really assess what it's going to take to get you over the hump, to beat the Kansas Cities, to beat the Buffaloes of the AFC.
Go ahead, Dre.
I'll say I think the Ravens right now, you need a veteran receiver. I think a veteran receiver definitely helps. So somehow we can trade for one using some of the draft capital that we have. And I feel like we still need a pass rush to be able to get to the quarterback. I feel like the defense turned it really around once they picked up more than what he wanted to do. And like I said on offense, I feel like we're right there. With King Henry, we got Zay, we got Bateman, but a veteran receiver definitely helps. And you need like an Anquan Bolden type of receiver. I like Smith from the Ohio State, but I know he's not going to be in this year's draft. But they need somebody like that. I think that'll help out Lamar Jackson a whole lot. And again, on defense, a pass rush would definitely help on defense. So I think those are two key things.
Dylan, final thoughts on anything, brother?
Inauguration tomorrow. Me and Roger are dressing to the T. We're watching our boy Donnie T come into office. Very excited. Very excited. Bye-bye. There he is. On top of that, Lamar did good. I'm excited to see what he's going to be coming with next. But listen, all I got to say is this. Enjoy that blue cheese dressing on the way back to Baltimore, you fucking bums. Because now we're going to San Francisco, and we're going to go beat those goddamn Chiefs one more time so we can go to the Super Bowl. Just like Mikel said, it's going to be the Chiefs. It's going to be the Commanders versus the Bills Super Bowl. And I'm rooting for those goddamn blue cheese drinking, buffalo wing eating Bills all the way through, baby boy. And I can't wait to see it. and fucking Byron is gonna be there, and so is Roger. They're gonna be on that fucking field chanting and rooting for the Bills. I'm paying for their tickets and flights.
No,
Absolutely.
no, the fuck, I will not be. I will not be.
Go ahead, Mikhail.
As a DC product, I'm gonna tell you to get ready for some chicken and mumble sauce. The hell with that blue cheese and whatever the hell else you're talking about. Because that's what you're gonna be eating on your ride back. When you take that out. I don't know. You think every year, what do the Ravens have to do? And it's like basically looking like, what do I have to do? They're out here looking like shaking their heads and you would think they have a veteran receiver. They got a veteran tight end, but there has to be somebody else that can be more in control for mistakes or not even mental mistakes to happen. I mean, when we looked last year, Zay Flowers fumbled at the goal line. There's a taunting call. You know, there's a maturation process. I think that you saw the maturation process of Lamar Jackson in the last 3 minutes of that game, and I think that should not be ignored. I really don't. And like I said, I understand the narrative. I understand we live in this quarterback-driven league, and I understand that everybody's going to be looking at Lamar and saying, what else do we have to give you? But any other drive that you've had in the past, he has not supplied. And unfortunately, once he got himself out of a hole, everybody else was just stuck in their own personal holes. And this would have been a different situation. He wouldn't be able to read defense. He wouldn't be able to do nothing. And I have to really stand on that. But I understand what Monday morning is going to bring. I would like to see. I thought the defense was a C too. I thought, like I said, Josh Allen. Nobody look at his jersey. He was not rushed. He was not. There was no tips. There was nothing where Josh Allen had to worry at all about anything that was going to happen to him. And there was nobody that got to the quarterback. He felt comfortable dropping back. He felt comfortable passing the ball off. And when he needed to run, even though they went away from it, he did it. And it's just, and there needs to be more of a front. I know you're relying on that secondary. Hamilton is great, but where is the pressure when the pressure is needed?
Well, Mikhail, how can people keep?
You know, at Mikhail Shade, that's MYKELLSADE. Follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rolling with Ramos. It's ROLLING with Ramos, RAMOS, my last name. You can't miss it on YouTube. Shout out to my boy Tristan. You will see us this week. We will have something to talk about, and we keep it real interesting. And like I said, it's nice to see you guys. It's 2 days in a row, so I'm on a roll. And tough loss. I was going for the DMV Baltimore SB. I was going for that, but it's not going to happen.
Good. Final thoughts.
But we got to make that trip up I-95.
Now it's time to rest and get ready. The greatest inauguration.
Okay,
God
this is where I get off.
President to ever run down damn watch.
I'll see you guys later.
That's me and Roger. We got champagne popping.
Thanks, Mikhail.
I am so excited.
See you, Ramos.
See you, Ramos. Have a great night, hon. Listen, me and Roger, we've been waiting for this 365 days for 4 years. I'm excited. He already brought back fucking TikTok, and he's not even in fucking office right now. Let's get it going. Donnie T, all the way. I hope he gets that fucking haircut, because I tell you right now, he's going to be looking great when we see him tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm already pumped. I might stay up all night just thinking about Donnie T. That's right, Roger. There he is. There's my boy, Big Raj. I know what I'm talking about. Me and Raj, we're going to be partying up tomorrow morning. I tell you right now. Oh, dude, I already got my fucking suit pressed out and everything. Trey, don't be upset. We're going to have a great 4 years. We're going to have a great 4 years, baby. Make America drink Coca-Cola again. That's the statement. We're getting the fucking 14-karat Cuban links. Everybody's getting no more taxes on OT. And we're going to have a great goddamn year with Donnie T. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Go ahead, D.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What we had there? PR announcement for Pumpkinhead drop. God almighty. Anyway, Guys Sport Network, we'll cover that you. I got to go close to DC, so hopefully I'll be back in 1 week. Coming back to Baltimore tomorrow night at Bowie State. Action there from the Dream Classic. And we'll have action next week here on the Guys Sport Network with more high school basketball, the quality of action coming your way in the DMV area. Woulda, shoulda, coulda from the Ravens. Didn't get the job done. So that's the final thoughts. Byron, get us up out.
Hey, man, you'll catch us tomorrow, man. Unfortunately, y'all boy will be 45, 47. Yeah, do. Ravens lost, man. I'm out of here. See y'all.
Appreciate you, bro. We'll see you tomorrow. At least we're 7.
There he is. Big Rod.
I don't got no words, man. I have no words for the Ravens. That season is over with. They played like garbage tonight. They do it to themselves as they always do. But like Dylan said, 45-47 is coming back tomorrow officially. He's already making moves, getting TikTok back today with just the sound of his voice, making moves happen all over the world, bringing peace to everything. It's a beautiful thing. And also, people need to leave Snoop Dogg and Nelly alone. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. They're entertainers, so it is what it is.
Boy, and Soldier Boy.
And Soldier Boy, but nobody had no smoke with all the entertainers that was going to Kamala's side when he was over there doing that thing. So I don't want to hear it. It is what it is. We want Trump to do well as a country because we need him to do well. We don't want to see him fail because if he does fail, that means we fail. So we don't want to fail. We want to continue to be number one. And like I said before, it is what it is. But God bless the United States of America.
Make America drink Coca-Cola again. Big Roger got Donnie T tomorrow morning.
Yep, you'll get more content. Truly, yo. Activities. We'll be live tomorrow night for episode 474 of the Flex On Podcast, talking about the weekend that was divisional round. Ravens fall short yet again, and the Commanders advancing 1 game away from the Super Bowl. Dylan, Mikkel, D, Raj, Dre. Raj, what they need to do if they're watching this video real quick?
If you're watching this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. We do this after every post game. This is the last Ravens post game, but we will have a post game for the Commanders next week because they are in the NFC Championship game. So just stay tuned for that. We do AEW on Wednesdays. We have our official show on Mondays. We do SmackDown on Fridays. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned. Hit the like and subscribe, and you know the rest.
Ravens fall to the Bills 27-25. Ravens, 3 crucial turnovers and an offseason with a lot of questions as always. I'm getting out of here, everybody. Putting kids to bed. Thank you guys for watching the Baltimore Ravens post-game show. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, vote on your way out. Have a good night, everybody. Happy Martin Luther King Day. Happy Inauguration Day. We'll see you tomorrow for the inauguration and tomorrow night for episode 474. Good night. Peace. Thank you for watching.
This is